Hey guys, so today I wanted to do something a little bit different to what I usually do on this channel, and that is just a quick little chit chat. And what it kind of is about is just a few positive words of affirmation and just a chat about how to stay positive, how to see the good side in things, and how to stay motivated when we're dealing with a lot of different things in our day-to-day lives, like anxiety and being scared of what other people think, working hard, being stressed, and trying to juggle many things in our lives. One of the main things that I wanted to speak about was how a lot of the times things seem perfect or they seem a certain way, and often that's what people want you to see, or that's what they're allowing you to see of their lives. Even myself, sometimes I'm by nature a very anxious person, and I'm very, very hard on myself. I just have very high standards, and I never think that anything is good enough. And obviously that has its positives and its negatives, and it often means that I can be high strung and I don't always relax when I need to relax, and sometimes take myself too seriously, and I'm not able to openly appreciate when I'm working so hard or when I'm achieving great things. I think that it's important that all of us are able to recognize that we're all individuals that have different ways of doing things, but that we are all worthy and that we're all important, and that we all have goals that are crucial, that we realize are there and work towards them in whatever way that is that works for us. But one of the main things that made me want to say this is that recently I've heard a lot of people, especially people close to me, putting themselves down. And I know, trust me, how easy it is to do that, because sometimes I think to myself, the way that I speak to myself, or if I look in the mirror and think, oh, you look fat, or people don't think that joke is funny, or you're not popular, or things like voices in your head that if you were to say those things out loud, if it was coming from somebody else, it would be bullying, which technically means that a lot of us bully ourselves and then wonder why we don't feel motivated to do things or don't feel self-love. And I know it can be really difficult. I wanted to challenge people to try and see yourself through another person's eyes, and I know that's something that we would never really be able to do, but I think that a positive thing that a lot more people could do would be open and honest about things that you see in other people, and not be afraid to compliment and bring other people up, because by doing that you are not bringing yourself down, or by telling somebody else they're beautiful doesn't mean you're not beautiful. Especially amongst a lot of females, there's a lot of competition, and it's so important that we are able to recognize each other's strengths and openly tell people when you think that they're doing an amazing job, that they're so organized, that they look great, that they're so kind. And I think a lot of the times we miss out on telling people these things. I don't know why. I'm a culprit of doing it myself. I even think, I'll tell someone else like that I have, I don't know, great a friend of mine is and how amazing they are at something, and then I'm like, wait, have I told that friend that that's what I think? And we should just go and do those things and spread positive affirmations for people, because a lot of the time the things that you think that they know, that you think about them or know about themselves, they really don't, or might think the complete opposite. And the more love that we can spread, obviously the world will be a greater place to live in. And this isn't supposed to be like a soppy, love the world, peace for everyone, wake up and smell the roses, because that's not how it always is. Trust me, that's not how I always am at all. But I used to be in a much worse place than I am now, and anxiety and depression is something that I've dealt with a lot in my life, and I've had a lot of challenges that has made it harder for me to overcome those. And I just think that it's really good that we have the internet and these facilities where we're able to share with other people that they're not alone, and that times can be hard. I mean, even for myself, sometimes I'll go for a blood test or something at the hospital that has nothing to do with my mental health, and the doctor will call me and be like, so just wanted to let you know that you have very low serotonin levels. Did you know that your serotonin was so low? And I'm like, yes, thank you. I do. I'm aware of this. And I mean, I used to take antidepressants when I was in school, and I was in very confused like mind space, and I don't think I was that sure as to who I was. I had an idea, but a lot of that was built on how I had acted in the past, and based on that, how people expected me to behave in the future. I felt like I was trapped in a bubble. It was difficult to change, and I didn't really want to be on the antidepressants that I was on, but I didn't want to be in the place that I was in either, where sometimes I'd be surrounded by a group of friends having a good time and just laughing, and I would be sitting and I would be there, but I wasn't really there. I was in my mind, and I was thinking, how can they just be having such a good time? Like, why don't they think about other things? And I felt like in my head, like, why am I trying to ruin somebody else's time? Because I can't just be happy about something so small. You know, my expectations were so great as to how things were supposed to be that I wasn't able to enjoy the moment more. So I've done a lot of things in my life to help me be more positive, be motivated, and follow my heart. And some of those things include, like, even just your personal space, like, that you're in. Create a place that makes you happy. Put candles on, make it smell nice, put lights, whatever makes you happy. Have, like, an environment that you feel safe and confident in, and do things that allow you to connect with yourself and the things that are important to you. I do meditation and yoga sometimes in the mornings, and then on the other side of that, I do like crazy box fit where I have pent up aggression that I'm able to express at the gym. I do art when I can. I definitely don't do it as much as I would want to, but I'm trying to get back into that now. And that kind of brings me actually to another thing that I wanted to speak about, which was how so many people, including myself, don't do certain things because they think that they're not good enough. And that is just crazy. I had a teacher when I studied entrepreneurship that took a course, and it was all about creativity. And we would speak about how as a child, we would just do anything. We would just sing. We weren't that afraid. We would do art, and people wouldn't not do art because what they did wasn't good enough. That's not what they were thinking about. They did what made them happy. And why, in this day and age, is it so important to only do things that you're the best at, or that you feel could compete with somebody else? Creating something is just about like how you feel when you do it, and how that process is for you. And that's something I've had such a hard time with, because I'll put so much pressure on myself to make it be a certain way, and then when it isn't that way, I get disappointed. And I think something that I have to change is not thinking about what other people think. If something makes you happy, compare that feeling of happiness that you're having based on doing that thing, and then compare the feeling that you get when you think about other people thinking about what you're doing. They're not actually thinking about it, and if they do, they should probably worry about other things in their life, because I'm sure they've got other things, such as themselves, to focus on. And in the greater scheme, when your time is up in this world, where we're privileged to be, that's it. You know, you were the only person that chose your destiny to an extent, and things can happen to you in your life, but you need to choose the way that you react to them. And sometimes you need to choose yourself, and you need to listen to who you are and respond when something makes you happy. So sometimes I think to myself, oh, but why should I share a blog post about making a recipe that I love? Because I'm not a chef, and somebody else has a better risotto and a better smoothie that they can make too. Why should I share this? But it doesn't matter. You're you, and you can create and share whatever makes you happy. Myself, I've always been the type of person, I enjoy mediating, and I often give advice to people because I like to help people. And I never follow the advice that I give. It feels like often it will come easy to think of what somebody else should do, but then when it comes to your own life, you don't apply that same advice. And it is really, really challenging. But a lot of the times it's because we're worrying about so many other things, like what someone else is going to think of this choice that I make. And another thing that I do is I sometimes just listen. You can just search it on YouTube, like positive words of affirmation, because sometimes I think, oh, I'll never work for myself, even though I want to. Often be like, oh, I don't know how to get there, it's so challenging, or what will I do, or I can't compete in this space, I can't compete with the big players, I'm not good enough. And all of those words aren't positive words of affirmation. They're things that tear you down and tell you that you can't. So I try and, I'll listen to YouTube clips of people telling you things like, you're beautiful, you're worthy of things, you are good enough in this world. Everything is attainable, and that is so true. Everything that you see is just, it's just something, you know, along the way, that getting there has like work and stress and everything like towards getting to that goal, but it's all attainable. So something that I like to do is, if I do have a goal or something that's important to me, I like to write it down and then think, is that a long-term goal? Is that something attainable? In the short term, what do I have to do? What do I have to change in order to get there? And if it is important to me, then, you know, this is something that I will do for myself. And even with anything, you know, sometimes I'll think, oh, I don't like know what it must feel like to be able to shop at Whole Foods every day and not look at the price of something. But that's attainable. All that money is printed paper with specific wording on that is a symbol of value. But every dream, if it is to, you know, get more money so that you can travel more, or if your dream is to help other people out there, there's an end goal and there is wherever you are, and towards getting there is milestones and things that you need to do, and it's all waiting out there. We just need to put it into the universe and attract those positive vibes back towards us. Sounds like a little bit like up in the air and, you know, airy-fairy now, but it is the truth. I mean, that is, you know, the movie The Secret, where they talk about openly putting something out into the universe and having it come back to you, like the law of attraction. That's not a secret. That's the truth. When you openly speak about something, when you write it down, when you visualize it, it becomes more real. And when something's real, it becomes more attainable, because you're doing things to make a dream or something that you see a reality. And you never know when your time is coming, and there's no more perfect time than now. And to be a little bit cliche, you should listen to your heart and follow what it says, because if you don't, the only person that's going to get disappointed by that is you. And you are beautiful and loved and good enough. And I just wanted everyone out there to feel good vibes today. You know, sometimes you're in a situation which is hard, or you have something that you can't change, and that can be really difficult. But I think that it's important to believe in ourselves and believe in other people. I just wanted to say that because it's not all easy, it's really difficult. Go out into the world, do the things that are important to you. I hope that this made you all feel a little bit more inspired, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!